In example 4, we're talking about horizontal translation this time. That means we're going to shift the graph left and right. So instead of starting at 0, 0, it's probably going to start somewhere else as far as the 0 goes. Anyway, this 1/2, remember, changes the amplitude. And the amplitude becomes 1/2, meaning the graph only goes up to a half this time. And these are 1, so there's 1 and -1. Now the horizontal shift is because of this x minus pi over 3. Since x has no coefficient, it's not going to have the same effect that example 3 did. It will not have any period change. It just has a period shift. Or a better term for that is an interval shift. So, since the interval usually goes from 0 to 2 pi, the first period, what I do is I say x minus pi over 3 equals 0, because that's where it normally starts. So x is, now it's going to start at pi over 3, and then x minus pi over 3 equals 2 pi. So x equals 2 pi, the same as 6/3 pi, so it's going to be 7 pi over 3 when I add pi over 3 to both sides. And so instead of starting at 0, we're now going to start at pi over 3. So if I put in my normal, there's 2 pi, there's pi over 2, there's 3 pi over 2, the normal. Everything shifts this direction, pi over 3 units. So instead of 1/2, it's going to start at 1/3. So essentially, on my XY t-chart, 0 is going to be plus pi over 3, 2 pi is going to be plus pi over 3, pi will be plus pi over 3, pi over 2 will be plus pi over 3, and 3 pi over 2 will be plus pi over 3 to represent this shift pi over 3 units to the right. Opposite for x, just like in regular graphing. So, just like for sine, 0, 1, 0, -1, 0. And so our points become 0, pi over 3, or pi over 3, 0. So there's the first point. And everything shifts this direction a third. So instead of being here at pi over 2, it's now going to be over here. And now it's going to be at pi and a third, a little bit more than halfway through. Now it's going to be down here and right there. So this first period goes like this. Okay. Now the tricky part is doing these negatives. So I'm still going to set them up just like I did here with the positives. There's -2 pi, pi, -pi over 2, -3 pi over 2. And if you were paying attention, you can tell I made a mistake already in my graph, because we already said the amplitude was going to be at a half. So really, instead of being up there, it's going to be there. So it's going to be more like this. And it's going to be at a half. So it's going to be down there. Okay. So again, everything is shifted this direction by pi over 3. So instead of being at -pi over 2, -1, that's going to shift over here. But now it's going to be at -1/2, so it's going to shift. This point was normally at 0, is going to shift over to here. This point, which is normally at 1/2, is going to shift over to here. And this point, which is normally at 0, shifts over to here. And there's 2 periods of the graph. I want you to try one. It says number 49. Y equals sine of x minus pi over 4. Okay. Alright, so what I was thinking, it's sine. There is no amplitude change. There is no stretch or shrink. All it is shifting the graph pi over 4 units because it's negative, shifting it to the right, pi over 4. So instead of adding pi over 3 like we did on the previous problem, I'm now going to take my original points, so I'm going to add pi over 4. So it's going to be 0 plus pi over 4 pi over 2 plus pi over 4, pi plus pi over 4, so on and so forth. And 2 pi plus pi over 4, because it takes a pi over 4 shift to the left, or sorry, to the right. So on my graph, again, I'm going to put in, there's 2 pi, pi over 2, 3 pi over 2, negative 2 pi, negative pi, negative 3 pi over 2, negative pi over 2. All my points, again, are going to shift to the right pi over 4 because opposite for x. So instead of 0, 0, it's going to be 0 plus pi over 4 to 0. And these are going to go to 1. So instead of being pi over 2, shift over a fourth, shift over a fourth, shift over a fourth, shift over a fourth. And so this first period is like that. Okay, so the normal point here shifted over a fourth. This point is down to 1, it shifts over a fourth. This point is 0, shifts over a fourth. This next point is 1, shifts over a fourth. This next point is 0, shifts over a fourth. And it's going to do the same thing. And there's the graph of y cosine of x minus pi over 4.